racers for Fleur's stern.
What's about Ollie's riding style, James?
I almost crashed into the back of somebody in horrendous weather and landed on a tarmac road like that, and it hurts. But you know, we got to crack on. We've got to make bikes. Got to put shoes on our kids' feet. Oh, he sounds hungover today, doesn't he?
No, I'm not hungover, just tired. I did drink a few of those Moor beers, but not too many.
Because I've been at ArdRock and it was very long and muddy. We'll show you our muddy bike. I'm knackered, my brain's not working. Start again. Okay, so I've been riding this bike for a little while now, trialling it out. I did a couple of races, one at Abercarn in South Wales, probably a couple of months ago, and then I've been riding it since then quite a bit, and then raced at ArdRock last weekend. And I suppose this bike perfectly suited to ArdRock. Not that I did very well, but perfectly suited to ArdRock. ArdRock is flat out, really just trying your hardest not to touch your brakes and go fast as possible. And the bike is just so stable, it just sits there. It allows you to just truck over stuff and keep moving. I've loved riding it. It suits my riding style, allows me to go fast, comfortable, stable, you know, just as you'd expect. So essentially the MegaMurmur is a long travel enduro bike. 165mm travel rear, 170mm travel front. So why Mega? It's more than the standard Murmur we've got at the moment. So it's a full-on enduro bike. 170mm fork, 165mm rear travel, 29-inch wheels, so it's a beast. It's made for going fast, it's made for racing. To give us the space to get the full 165 travel out the rear, we've lengthened the rear swing arm. So on the standard Murmur, it's 445mm. On the MegaMurmur, we've changed it to 455. So in increasing the swing arm length, we can gain more travel and it makes it a more stable bike. So the long stays mean you can just stay planted in the center of the bike and it tracks, and you can balance the bike and it goes fast, adds stability. For that reason though, the long stays kind of suit the larger size frame. So we're only offering the MegaMurmur in large, extra large and extra large frame sizes. If we were to do a medium frame with the long stays, it just wouldn't be balanced, it wouldn't ride properly. If you want a long travel bike in the medium size, you're better off going with the Twist, which is the 27 rear wheel bike, and we can get 165mm travel out of that medium Twist. And that kind of makes sense. Smaller frame, the smaller chainstays is more balanced. It'll work better for smaller riders. One of the other big changes with this frame, the front triangle is the same as the standard Murmur, there's no changes there, but the swing arms we're getting made in the UK. They're actually the same tubes as on our Taiwanese frames and the same parts, but they're welded up in the UK, and that allows us to do smaller batches of this modification. Otherwise, they're relatively identical to what we're getting made in Taiwan. You don't necessarily have to run this bike as an enduro configuration. As with all our V3 frames, we've got this adjustable shock mount that allows you to run either a 230 shock or a 210 shock. On this MegaMurmur, a 210/55 shock would give you 140mm rear travel. So if you were an XXL rider who wanted it set up in a trail bike, the longer stays make a much more balanced bike. So at the moment, the 445 stays on the XL and the XXL are okay, but you get a better riding, more balanced bike by going with the longer stays. So if you were to buy an XXL, and I think we're one of the few companies offering a genuine XXL size bike, I'd recommend going with the longer stays. It just makes it more balanced. So these frames are available now. There's a little bit of lead time associated with getting the swing arms manufactured, maybe 8 to 12 weeks, depending on demand. Yeah, put an order in. They're a little bit more expensive because of the UK manufacture. You can order direct through Starling in the UK. We can also get them out to our dealers. So we've got SQLabs in America and we've got Bike the World in Switzerland who can feed bikes into the EU. So which is, you know, I know people are nervous about shipping from the UK into the EU at the moment, but there's a route we've now got through SQLabs which helps with the taxes and the duty. Simplifies that for everybody. So ArdRock is a brilliant event. Everyone's got to go to ArdRock. It's the biggest bike race in the UK. It's a fantastic festival. There's music. There's lots of events going on. Biggest trade stands as well. So there was everybody seemed to be there this year. Trade stands from all the big brands, and it is mountain bike brands, and it's all the cool mountain bike brands. It's all the proper mountain bike brands. It's showing new, interesting mountain bikes. So it's really worth going to see that. And then the riding, for what we ride around here in sort of South Wales and Forest Lane, it's just nothing like what we see. Everything we ride is steep and tech and kind of but slow. You're very rarely going faster than 10, 15 miles an hour. You get to ArdRock and everything is just flat out. It's literally pedaling as fast as you can and trucking and carrying speed. Lots of old mining quarries and flowy trails, some quite good jumpy stuff. But a big day out. 42-kilometre loop with 7 racing stages. But it is a long old way. Some of the transitions are like hour-long transitions, and I was racing my MegaMurmur, but with Michelin Raceline heavy enduro tyres and full-on cush core, full coil, and I've got an O chain on there now, so I've got a big heavy bike, and lugging that around the whole course was pretty hard work. But then when it came to the descent and ploughing through that rough stuff, it all kind of made sense. This bike perfectly suited to ArdRock. Not that I did very well, but perfectly suited to ArdRock. ArdRock is flat out, really just trying your hardest not to touch your brakes and go fast as possible. And the bike is just so stable, it just sits there. It allows you to just truck over stuff and keep moving. There is a little bit of compromise on its manoeuvrability. So if you're the kind of rider who's always on the back wheel, always hopping and popping the bike and moving it around and stuff, this isn't the bike for you. You're probably more suited to the twist. And like we said, we can get the full travel out of the twist. I've loved riding it. It suits my riding style. Allows me to go fast, comfortable, stable, you know, just as you'd expect. So we did a photo shoot for the press release of MegaMurmur at, actually, the weather's been horrendous recently. It's been raining constantly. So we had some ideas for outdoor photo shoots, but we just couldn't do an outdoor photo shoot. So we got in touch with Moor Beer in Bristol, M-O-O-R Beer, Moor Beer. And they let us go and shoot in their brewery. So the brewery's not far from here, just in the centre of Bristol, and it was fantastic. So yeah, big silver casks. It was quite tight, so quite tricky to shoot, but just really interesting to be in there. And the owner was a really interesting chap. Just really similar ideas to Starling, really, a small brand, trying to do things in different ways to everybody else, trying not to be too corporate, you know, trying to keep it real. Makes nice beer. He gave us some beer to take to ArdRock as well, so that was good. So yeah, drink more beer, as they say. It's good stuff. I'm getting there. I'll talk about builds. So MegaMurmur, as with all our bikes, is available in everything from frame only, frame shock fork, all the way up to full builds. The parts we supply will mean you can do anything from an enduro build to a trail build. We can supply those parts. This one has especially got some EXT suspension in. It's got an Era V2 fork and this brand new Aria air shock. Haven't actually had a chance to ride this yet, but Chris Porter from Mojo tells me this is pretty special, so we should be able to supply these once they're available in stock. Middleburn cranks, shiny English cranks, always like those. This one's actually got a set of Magura MT7 brakes, which are their downhill bike brakes, but fantastic on builds like this. This one's got some wild enduro tyres, but Michelin tyres are always good, and we can supply those. Yeah, and also SQLabs provided us with some components for this bike. So it's got an SQLabs bar, stem, grips and saddle. So SQLabs is a German company who make very ergonomic, specific parts. So the bars, for example, they change the bar roll or the bar sweep back to suit your requirements. The saddle, they have various different width saddles. They have different diameter grips. Really good high quality stuff, really comfortable to use, and they'll fit it to suit you. So this bike, thank you to them for providing bits for that. Wrap it up. Oh yeah, do that, yeah. So yeah, if you want to come and see this bike in the flesh, we'll have one at the Malvern Festivals at the end of August. or get in contact and you come into the Bristol workshop. Yeah, big trucking MegaMurmur. Come and try one out. Come and buy one.